There we go. Try that again. Hey, everybody. Hey, Doggy Traders. Welcome to another rainy episode of the Doggy Traders. Live, as always, from Hudson, Florida, where we earlier today had the landfall of Hurricane Ian, probably about 90-minute, actually down there, probably closer to 3 hours of a normal drive south of us here on the Gulf Coast of Florida. We've been collecting data. We did a couple extra episodes throughout the day. And now we're actually able to do somewhat of a regular episode. We don't have really any crypto or forex news. We've got prices for you. We've been more actually been tracking, kind of turned ourselves into a weather center. We've been watching in the background our local NBC affiliate, that's WFLA, who's done an amazing job. You're not watching TV there. You're watching YouTube, where they're broadcasting just like we are on YouTube. With their reporters are responding back to them on YouTube, not on the actual TV channel. And I'm sure actually I know they're doing that as well. But yeah, my first hurricane living here in Florida, and we're getting off light clearly. But before we do any of that, let's get this usual up, and we'll show you that, and be right back. Yeah. So anyway, that's the usual thing. The disclaimer. I'll give you some time to read that. Give you more than enough time to read that. You've been reading it, and you probably can recite it for me. So yeah, we're in the makeshift studio because everything is really packed up. We're using the camera from the desktop computer that we wouldn't normally use. The story there is about 2 months ago now. This computer was getting really slow, and so I took it to the Mac store to get worked on. And when we came back, the operating system that had to be used to put on it no longer took the Sony cameras that we use here in the studio. So we did a few episodes with this computer with just that camera, and was just not. Oh, Dad's checking in. Hang on, Dad. I'll get you a message in a second. It just wasn't the level. I mean, it actually looked pretty clear right now. Just wetted the hair and didn't do any of the usual makeup or stuff that I do for TV. That's all packed up and ready to go. The laptop that we're now working off of until we develop a bigger, better desktop computer for the studio, and the cameras and other mics like this one are all packed up, ready to be taken and hopefully salvaged in the event that this goes really bad. It's looking like that is not going to happen. Let me show you this. This is what we're experiencing right now, first of all. That's Hurricane Ian as it sits off of even south of Sarasota, actually Punta Gorda, Naples, to the south of the storm. And I'm forgetting the actual one of the other towns that was actually hit, Punta Grande, or actually what they're calling, they don't pronounce the E, they're calling it Punta Grande. So I guess that's what the locals are actually calling it these days. That is what got decked. I've seen video. I'm going to try to share here in a second. See if I can pull up the video file that I recorded from my screen of our friends at WFLA. Yeah, I know these are all safe for family, so we'll just, yeah, let's do this one first because these are all in also sort of order as to how I did them. So there we go. That's it before it hit. You see Fort Myers, Naples to the south, Northport. That's where it actually landed. And that is in the top part. You see that orange and red area? There's us in Spring Hill and Newport Richey. We're in between there. We've been getting rain on and off since yesterday. Some decent winds, nothing really high. That red box is a hurricane, or excuse me, a tornado area. And really, that's been it. Nothing really serious here. I think that is actually stopped because we're finished. Nothing really serious here yet, and it looks like we are going to be beyond blessed. Yeah, this is Amanda Holly, and this is cool. This is from the International Space Station. So let's look at this. We actually tried to use the mic to get her narration, but what's behind the blade, as they call it, of the one satellite, is a thunderstorm that is in the hurricane. That darker section in the center there is the eye of the storm, and we are all underneath it. That's how big it is. I mean, you can't tell where Florida is when you're looking at that. I'm going to fast forward through it, and that is, don't know which guy that is. One of their reporters. He's actually where it landed. Yeah, again, that was right before 3 o'clock today when it landed. That's another satellite. That's a photograph of the satellite view. What that does is it shows, you know, where clouds are and where essentially stuff is not. In the center is the eye, and you get out of the green and the red and the orange and whatever color you're in, and it's like 75 degrees and sunny. What a lot of people don't realize is that it's about to get, in that case, a lot worse because they started with the green and then they're going to get the heavier, intense yellow and red later. And that's another guy in one of the areas where it hit. So, if you're hearing any snoring, one of my dogs is in the background. That's what that is. This is pretty intense. This is the chief meteorologist from WFLA. And that's pretty much showing a lot of the same thing. You know, again, this is all before it hit, which was more than 2 hours ago.
Technically would be considered landfall when right in the middle of the eye comes on shore. We just had some water's rushing out of a lot of bays.
That's one of the things we wanted to show is that is Madeira Beach on the Gulf Coast, and that boat usually is floating in water. Listen to this.
This is actually Port Manatee, so in the southern part of Tampa Bay. It's amazing because the tides dropped around 5 feet or so. They are forecast to drop 11 feet, but the average depth of the water in Tampa Bay is only 6 feet. So essentially that water will be left in the channels. But otherwise, the bay, in many places, will be vacant of water. You don't see that very often. All right, I want to show you the wind gusts on our map here. So this is basically right now, as the storm is beginning to come ashore. And you can see those wind gusts at Sanibel, Boca Grande.
These are speeds, not temperatures. That's miles an hour.
In places like Boca Grande. And let's talk
you hear him say Boca Grande, I think he would know.
Sarasota wind gusts close to hurricane force. This is at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Bradenton about 64. So tropical storm force wind gusts as high north as Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete. And eventually this is going to be moving inland. You can see that around the center, those winds are gusting close to 120 miles an hour. But you go north to Englewood, look at that, 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So the southern half of Sarasota County, that's where you're going to see sustained hurricane force winds, gusts even higher than that. Look at this, Punta Gorda 106, Arcadia, that's in our viewing area, 91.
I was hiding behind my name.
So hurricane force winds right in that area, Hardy, DeSoto County, and then moving into Highlands County as well. Look at Arcadia, gusting close to 100 miles an hour. At the same time, those hurricane force wind gusts kind of miss Tampa proper. So
yeah, we're really being spared. We're north. If you see that 53 Newport Richey, we're about 3 miles north of that.
wind gusts probably close to hurricane force, maybe just short of that.
And that's
But
the
anywhere from
gusts. That's the
Sarasota
blast
south
of
to
air,
Naples, wind
not the
gusts are going to take
constant.
effect. Then the storm starts to rotate out.
So by
The good
10
news
p.m.
is it's moving a
tonight,
little faster
we're going to
than we
be
thought it
between
would
50 and
yesterday.
56 miles an hour.
It moved further south. It didn't kind of try to push up against that strong.
But again, one of the other things that I don't know if we talked about the wobble tracker. Sometimes as a hurricane moves, it wobbles. It goes a little bit to the west or a little bit to the east, and this one has actually considerably moved to the east. So even since this particular footage was taken earlier today, it has moved considerably to the east. And during the time while it was doing all that landfall, this is what had happened. Or also today, as the hurricane, you see the counterclockwise motion as it hits the land. Just below the ED and pushed out is Tampa Bay. Water pushed on shore is where it actually landed. We're up by between the type, the font where it says water pushed out, and the date, Wednesday, September 28th, that gray block with white lines, that is Pasco County. That is where I'm at. And we're in the northwest corner of that county. So we're on canals, channels. We are at an extreme low tide right now because all that water was sucked out and it's all landing down where it hit. One of the things that happened was within less than an hour, entire cars were underwater in areas like Naples and Punta Grande, and those areas. We are expected to get that back later tonight or tomorrow, but no real word on how. What we've been watching on WFLA is they're saying it's not going to come rushing back, which is also great news. I mean, to say that we've been spared is beyond a blessing for somebody who's a new dad, a new homeowner in this area, doggy dad, everything. It's this could have been a lot worse. So yeah, we got no comments right now because everybody else is either trading on their own or my local viewers are certainly not watching me. I doubt that. So yeah, speaking of what is still happening, maybe a major news event for us here in Florida, but not in the rest of the world. Some prices, these are as of 10 minutes before we went on. Bitcoin's at 19,585. ETH is at 1352.08. Solano 33.52. XRP is at 43 cents and change. Doge 6 cents and change, and Cardano 43 cents and change. Not much changes since our special edition that we did last night. Not much changes at all. The majors: USD JPY 144.77, Euro USD 97 cents and change, Pound USD 108.88. Pound JPY is 156.94, USD CAD 136.05, and the Aussie dollar pair is 65 cents and change. Pretty much some up, some down. Not really huge changes there in about 12, 18 hours. For the indices, NASDAQ 1144. The S&P 500 is 3719. The US 30 is 29,670. Dow Jones 29,685. All of which are up since our show last night. And I think we can get rid of that, obviously. That's me. Hit me up if you get any ideas. If you're a trader and want to be featured, you want us to tell your story, how you get into trading, how well you're doing, what strategies you're using, what you're going long on, things of that nature. Hit us up, yergs@yergergroup.com. We would love to talk to you. We'll do that either recorded or live on the air. Live on the air, we could get some comments and some live questions. That'll be awesome. We did this interview last week. Dr. Mike is doing some amazing success. And we recorded that in the interest of time and getting him scheduled. He's been pretty busy. He's taking on students now, too, after all of a year. and is doing very well with that. So we're going to get that in at some point. Really good, interesting information, and I'm going to be following him more closely as well too. Let's get the email out of the way. There we go. Where can you find us? Well, right here, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn. For the videos, you can get us on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Anywhere you want to be at Doggy Traders. You can also still find us on our Yerger group channels and on my personal channel. For LinkedIn, it's my personal channel that is the only one you can get, because on LinkedIn, to have the video feed that we use, you need 150 followers or more. Our LinkedIn page for Doggy Traders is brand new, so we don't have that yet. Please visit there and like it, subscribe to it, follow it, whatever that is. And speaking of which, let's show you that. There we go. Like what you like, comment and let us know what we could be doing better or what you also like. Share it, please share it, so we can develop and grow this community. Subscribe and turn our notifications on, so when we come to you, especially with special stuff like this, or a lot of other things that anticipated on happening in the markets, it is not uncommon for us to just go live on spur of the moment and let you get caught up and see it later if you miss the live feed. So yeah, that's everything for today. Cody Hester just said, stay dry, my friend. Yeah, definitely, bud. I'm really looking at... Get rid of that. There it goes. Yeah, that's one thing we noticed. Internet does occasionally slow. We are doing this on Wi-Fi, which is, dangerous, and that, it is not as good of a feed as when we were back in the actual studio and on a hard line for the internet. But that's technology today. I'm doing this in Wi-Fi and I'm streaming, and I watch every episode after to try and learn from it, and I do see some improvements I've been making. Still got some more to go, but yeah, we're doing all right. So that's it. I think I covered everything. Yeah. Stay dry if you're in our viewing area, or immediate area to the studio. Pinellas, Northern Pinellas, Pasco, and Hernando counties. We got off light, real light, and be thankful for that. Until then, as always, trade crazy but trade safe, and I'll see you again on Friday. Well, we'll see you regular right now. Yeah, I guess time to talk about the schedule, huh? Right now, we are looking at a possible, likely, normal show on Friday. Friday afternoon, evening, 11 p.m. Eastern, Central European Time, 11 p.m. Central European Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. On the West Coast. That is not to say that we won't be back tonight with other updates. I'm doing these updates and sending links to family and friends so they can just see, hey, here I am. I'm still alive. And also, that's what we've been doing. So, yeah, we'll be back probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight after we get some other updates from the folks at WFLA. And then throughout the day, God willing, tomorrow. And that, of course, is incumbent upon electric and also internet. But also, if we do have to relocate, which we have not done yet, by the way, we are still here. We'll try that via phone, as we already done, and that worked out great. So, till then, hold on. There we go. I can talk. Until then, trade crazy, trade safe. We'll see you later on tonight.